Going live. And we're live. So who's in the house with us tonight? I'm hoping, 9 live out of 105. There we go. So there is some people in here. All right. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should see if Jesse's on his way here, because he's our special guest tonight. Where are you? All right, looks like we got, there's Kevin, Jeremy, Lance. Lance, I don't even know, I don't think I've ever met a Lance. Must be in the room or new or part of the team or whatever. There's Eugene, there's Matt, Miguel, lots of the regulars here on tonight. That's good. We have a guest that's coming in. Well, he said he's coming in, so just waiting on him. Yeah, it started downloading some shit when I logged in. I'm trying. Okay, so we're just waiting on Jesse. Jesse's an actual 5A, started exactly where you guys are at, and he's been having some successes with communication and the PayPal direct button and just getting them straight to the $99 coaching call without even the webinar. So, you know, if we can add new stuff to our arsenal of strategies, then by all means. I mean, I'm not going to be ignorant to the fact that I think that I'm, good at everything. There's no way. You have to be learning constantly, and if it means that I'm learning from somebody else, by all means, bring it on. Love it. So he's having some issues logging in. I'll just tell him you have to be logged into your Gmail account for it to work.
Just join right now.
So 12 attendees. So before we get anything going, does anyone have any wins this week? You got to watch on YouTube again. Isn't that great? I love webinar jams. I'm so getting rid of this. So apparently YouTube or webinar jams is still having its issues. So we've got to watch it on YouTube channel and then as well type in the chat roll. So I'm thinking by sometime next week this is not going to exist anymore, along with our webinars, because I'm not going to deal with it. Yes, Sam said I had to download Google Hangouts, then it did, and now, yes. All right. All right, so any wins? No video here either. Yeah, so guys, if you want to chat in the chat roll, you got to type it in this webinar jams thing, and you got to watch it on YouTube. So whatever software these guys have, apparently, obviously Google's not going to let them know, hey, by the way, we made some changes, so, and they're a little bit behind. So we got people typing in the Skype, and some people typing on here, and some people saying that there's nothing. So I think tomorrow the next day. What do you think, Mike? We should just go get with that Webinar Ninja. Yeah, get Ninja Webinar or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Same features, same everything.
It actually looks better in a lot of ways, so it'll be a step up.
Where do we chat? You're chatting right here, Jason. So you just type right in this chat roll. You can't actually hop on and say anything unless I invite you in. Yeah, you have to respond. Yeah, I can't have 3 rooms to. I can't respond in Skype and on Webinar Jams and talk at the same time, guys. Sorry. So having said all that, guys, let's hold on. What's he's having an issue verifying it's free install. I don't know what he's using. I'm clicking the link button, but it's not doing anything. Yeah. Are you using Google Chrome?
Yeah, it has to be in Chrome. He has to use his Google address.
Yeah, they sure make it. That's another thing with this Google Hangout. You gotta have use Gmail, and then you have to have Google Chrome up. Everything. It's annoying.
So if they can't see the chat, please.
What's that?
Somebody's actually saying they can't see the chat feed either. Oh, I just can see maybe.
Nice, Eugene. Eugene finally got his video ads up. That's perfect, guys. That's the key, right? As soon as you guys get the video ads up and running, you can start testing. That's the key to all this, right? All the stuff that we teach you beyond that point, it gets down to the testing, 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 testing. You can't see it on YouTube either.
Chat roll isn't on YouTube, guys. You've got to watch the video on YouTube and the chat roll on here. So they have to flip back and forth between. Yeah, they gotta have them both open.
Well, Jason, the chat's obviously working for you, bud, because you're typing the chat. So you must be able to see it. Typing it to me.
It's just the way they've built this.
There's not many people on.
Well, anyone else on the team just launched some new ads out there? Any wins on that? I know Eugene just started his. He did a pretty good job of his last video. What did you think, Mike? Did you see Eugene's?
Yeah, Head and Shoulders way better.
Yeah, way better. Hands down, way better video ad. Gord, did you check it out? Jen?
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah, I thought he hit all the key points of what he needed to do. The only feedback I gave him was maybe look at a different scenery. Maybe go for a walk or have a different drop set in the background.
Yeah, the material was definitely good.
Mm-hmm.
Gets down, like, he really didn't want to keep working his job, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's the key to it all.
That's what works.
Yeah, it was serious. It was good.
We know that's what works. That's what we're running now for a video. Same idea, same concept is what he's running, and it's working.
Exactly. Been having issues with mine, but I should have it fixed soon. What does that mean, Freddie? You've been having issues with yours.
Pixel problem.
Yeah, we're just on Skype with Freddie here.
Yeah, we're figuring it out.
Finally had my ad hit below 50 cents. Got to 45 cents.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Now hold on. Let me be specific. So Jason,
For a conversion.
yeah, I got to see this Sledhead. I'm thinking that this he's part of Brandon and Team Phoenix, and I know that a lot of those guys aren't using the they're not using the Pixel, right? So the goal trend is you guys are watching the 50 to 45 cents per click. And yes, I guess that's all right, bud. But really, for you to know whether or not it's profitable or not, you need to be watching so you're going to have to find out how many conversions you got on that day, divided by what your ad spend is. That'll tell you the number of what you're actually paying per conversion. Because if you're paying 45 to 50 cents a click and spending $10 a day and you're only getting one conversion, which means an email submit, that means you're paying $10 per conversion, which is really, is expensive. Jesse is my sponsor. Okay, all good. I mean, we all work as a team here. It doesn't matter who's on here. If you guys are here willing to learn, and like I said, if you guys can teach me some new stuff, that'd be great here too. Where are we at? It's downloading. I'll be on as soon as I can. Okay. All right. So he's downloading Chrome. So beyond that, Mike, Darren, do you guys have any wins this week? I know you guys have been doing a lot of testing. Actually, I'll tell you a win right now. They have like 4 trifectors, bang, lined up, like bang, 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 bang.
We submitted paperwork for one just now, like literally 5 minutes ago.
Nice. Was that Bernadette?
That's Shallow.
No, but Bernie's got her forms.
Bernie's got her forms. She's filling them out. And then we have the 2 more that are coming hopefully.
Lori and Dusty.
Yeah. No, Lori and...
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there was another one too. You had one other person.
Oh, he's a trifecta too.
Dusty.
Yeah, so there was Dusty, and we know Lori. I've got a follow-up call with her on Monday. She's just so stoked about the product. I mean, she just wants the product, and then she's the business opportunity. It was really funny, actually. She's like, I was talking about not having to go back to work, and we've been looking for a really good, healthy product, because they're already taking turmeric already. She's already taking turmeric, giving it to her husband.
We're targeting health and wellness buyers in our ads. I think Jen and Gord are too. So,
yeah. So,
and it actually, the conversions, they're not crazy high. They're not crazy low yet either, but they're, $4-ish. And if they're converting, then it's worth it to pay a little bit more because those people obviously that are going to be more interested in the product. So
yeah, and I'm going to tell you something. With the new system, This is something I came up with today. It's going to be, and it's not the new mini system. It's another system that most of you guys here know that I'm putting together here. It's going to have basically stuff adjusted to demographics and age categories and stuff that you're going to be able to put in within it, right? And categories. And we're hoping, and then this is something I'm going to work on. Hopefully to get plugged in with some API tools to be able to track a lot of this stuff. But we're going to be able to track not only what our cost per conversion is, because we can already do that, but when we actually make a sale submitted, gone through the system in the back end, it's going to get tagged to actually where the email address came from, right? And if it was under, buyers, if it was under like health and wellness between 35 and 44, it's going to go in there and it's going to put a dollar amount of what you've earned off of it. And then what that's going to start doing is that's actually going to start showing what your ROI is. Because guys, let's be honest here. If you spend $2 per conversion and you spend $500 to get one conversion, but you spend $10 per conversion but only spend $200 and make that exact same sale, the cost per conversion is negligible at that point because you only had to do 20 conversions because you had such a good buyer set that you were targeting on that you actually end up making a way higher. So then you'll be able to look at it and go, you know what, $2 per wasn't really what my main, or under $2 per conversion wasn't my main thing. Really what my main thing was is how much money was I making from each set that I was sending out there, right? I may have only got 20 leads at $10 per conversion, right? But these people are buying like crazy.
Exactly.
These people, I have to fly through a bunch of shit before I find one person, right?
Yeah.
So it digs down even deeper to that, and that's where because right now we're sort of like guessing at it, right? Like we don't know. Like obviously we know that we're profitable because we can see what we're spending. We know we can get our genealogy report and it shows what our ROI is, all that stuff. But when you hone in and you can make your targeting that much more refined, right? And then get this, guys. Once you have that list of these buyers and stuff like that in these targets and stuff like that, and I'm going to start doing this on Monday, is I'm going to create some custom audiences for the new video ad that I'm doing in the higher price points, and I'm going to have them all go to that bucket so that I can just create a lookalike. So rather than a big lookalike of everything mixed together between everybody, I'm going to create a lookalike only for those higher price target people that I'm targeting right now and see how that goes, right? And that's where Facebook really kicks ass, right? Because when we can create a custom audience of a bunch of people that we're getting really good conversions and buyers out of, we don't have to sit there and segment. We go and we press a button and we say lookalike, and it builds a list, and we press, and then we send the ad to those people, right? And that lookalike, for some of you guys that don't understand, basically Facebook looks at all of the similarities between the people that are going in and registering on your website, and this is the power of having your pixel, right? Because when your pixel fires, right, those are what they consider conversions. So we put a pixel on the back end of the actual thank you page, and then when somebody enters their email address, in order for them to get to the thank you page, right, they have to enter their email address and their name, right? So that's considered a firing of an actual conversion. That's an email in the actual in your database, right? Well, when you have all of those, I think it's about 1,000 people that have visited from an ad set. Yeah, it's 1,000 people. You can create what they call a lookalike, and that doesn't necessarily. Yeah, actually, that is. Yeah, it's 1,000 people that clicked on there. Now you can create a lookalike. So rather than continuing trying to search for these people, it's going to look for all the people as in their all-intensive purpose. A conversion as a buyer to Facebook. It's going to grab all those people that have those similarities, compile a list. And they have, I believe it's between 1 and 10%, is it, of a list, right? So between, yeah, it'll do 1%. In the United States, I think it goes up as high as 20 million people, but the 1% is your closest target to what you would be considered in their world as a conversion. And I can tell you right now, my buddy who's in Facebook advertising, I talk to him regularly. Those look-alike lists, man. I mean, he's got stuff that he does like that probiotic. So he's got a probiotic that he made a ton of money on, and he'll use that exact same list for another person for health and wellness and somewhere else. And he didn't even have to do any legwork at that point. He already knows those people are into that, and he presses a button and he sends ad sets to them, and it makes them ridiculous amounts of money. So my goal is in the new system to have shit like that that's targeted in there so that you guys can really hone down and see what the dollar per is, what your conversions are, where your money makers are. Because in the end of it all, your dollar per conversion, your cost per conversion and stuff like that really is a negligible number. It's how much money am I spending for each one of these demographics and what's the profitability of each one of them. And then you can scale from there. So yeah, so Darren and Mike are doing some different targeting, and Darren's the type of guy that will like continue until he finds it. I know he does. He'll be like, nope, that doesn't work. He'll say, fuck, and he'll sit there, and he'd be the type of person, he'll wake up, he'd be in bed and thinking, and all of a sudden 11:30 comes along, he'll be like, pop out of bed, go out there. He's like, I just got an idea here. I'm gonna do switch up. And he'll switch it. And then he'll be like, okay, I'm going to go back to bed now.
I never 11:30, more like 3 a.m. Usually at 3 I get back up because I think of something, and then I work until like 3:34, and then I go back to bed again.
So that's the type of thing, right? So testing. So, and the good thing is you guys have some people here that really understand now the power of testing and stuff and passing it down to the teams to make it so that you guys are successful, and that's the whole deal with mentorship. So, Darren, Mike, do you guys have anything to add to that?
Well, and I mean, also too, the other thing about this is that you can test as much as you want, but ultimately, all of it, when we're all doing our own videos, those videos all appeal to different demographics. The same person that clicks on my video may not click on Jen's video or Jeff's video. Like everybody message is a little bit different. Everybody looks different, has a different feel, and people are drawn to who they're drawn to. So that's the other factor in all this, is that that's why we don't say why nobody has that answer of saying this is what you need to target, this is what works, because that may work for that person in that particular video and that text above that video, but it may not work for everybody that targets it.
Yeah, you're right on that. Everybody's demographic reaches to different people and certain looks and feels and stuff like that. You're naturally attracted to similarities to yourself. That's why the emotion of the video content and the congruency that we talk about from your Facebook page all the way to the thank you page, if they're very congruent, then ultimately, they're going to feel more secure in dealing with you, right? Rather than using other people's videos. Don't get me wrong, there still is a value to using other people if you just really aren't the type of person and not feeling confident enough to do it. By all means, do it. I'm just saying there is an effect that once you step out and keep going out of your comfort zone until you find that it works, then use other people's, right? And that's just reality. And if you can, dub in at the beginning and the end, right? So,
like I use Jeff's video to target the oil patch workers because, I don't feel like I would appeal to them as much as Jeff would. So I'll use Jeff's video for that particular demographic, and everybody else I use my own videos. But we know that, again, that's a good example of a demographic that they have money or they're used to making big purchases. They're not, they're not scared off by $8,000. So we know from just the coaching calls that they buy. So it's a good demographic to target.
Eugene, sorry guys, Eugene has a question. If I wanted to sell the vitamins, what is a good price point to sell them for? So Eugene, I mean, you can absolutely go ahead and they're not vitamins. They're well, I mean, I guess in all intents and purpose, I guess we could look at it as a vitamin, but they're actually a very, very super high antioxidant value turmeric. So if you do any of your homework on turmeric, turmeric is one of the best anti-inflammatories. The only problem is most turmeric is hard for your body to actually digest and be able to absorb into your bloodstreams. Well, Enagics come up with the highest grade turmeric for your body to absorb the highest levels of. It's also grown in Okinawa, Japan, organically with the pH water. So anybody who has inflammation problems or naturally wants to stop the cellular structure of their body breaking down, turmeric is A1, and Darren can probably attest to that because he's been taking turmeric for a very long time, and we understand the value of it. So yes, you could sell the vitamins. We're a distributor. We sell them. The price point, if you want to know, as a non Enagic member, so you don't have any other products, it's $2,100 a year, right? So you can do it over 3-4 month periods. So, which I believe is $660 plus 40, but it's about $715 every 4 months. Or you can do it monthly, and the monthly is $250 the first month, and then $155 for the following 3 months, and that same cycle repeats 3 times: $250, $155 for 3 months, $250, and $155 for 3 months, right? So those are the different values. That allows them to become a distributor of all the products. And I want to make something clear, guys. In order to be a seller of Ukon, you have to have Ukon, right? That's why as an alternative, you know, is if anything, somebody who just buys a single product, you pretty much want to sell them the Ukon, or they can't sell the Ukon.
They can't sell a trifecta.
Yeah, they can't sell a trifecta. Well, they can, but what will happen, just so you know, they won't get the commission. Their upline who has the Ukon will get their commission, though. Like, will get their level of commission. You just won't get it. So that's how it works, right? So if you just buy a water machine, you can only sell water machines. You cannot sell Ukon. Well, no, sorry, you can sell it. You just won't get paid commission on it.
Huh.
Just so you know, right? So that's why I'm always including Ukons in there, because I mean I've gotten tons of checks from that, right? Now I get $240 per every 4 months for those checks. That's like $720 a year per person.
So every time somebody renews their Ukon after the 4 months, you get paid a commission on that? Ukon?
Yes, and you get a point every time they renew.
You what?
You get a point every time you renew.
Every time they renew.
Oh,
You
every
get
4
one
months.
single point every time they renew.
Every 4 months, Jeff, or every year?
Every 4 months. I just seen it on my genealogy report. When I renewed, I got paid $40 and I got a point.
Really?
Wow, that is interesting.
That's great, because we're about to renew too.
Yeah, so when your renewal, request your genealogy report, and I didn't realize it either. I just seen $40, and then I seen it on there, and it was my renewal.
So when you renew, that's considered a direct sale then too, right?
Well, it's a point. It doesn't really. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's for yourself, it's a direct sale because you're selling it to yourself, right? So you're going to. I mean, a direct sale and indirect sale really doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of it.
It means when you're trying to move up a level, though.
Yeah, when you're trying to move up a level, yes. But those don't move you up a level, by the way.
Oh. Yeah, it's a right question.
Those do not count as level ups.
Move you
That's
up.
the one thing that they stipulated on.
Doesn't move you up.
What good are the points if they don't move you up?
No, that's
Well,
fine. It's just for the point.
it does move you up, but it doesn't count as that direct sale. So you know how in each 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A bucket, you got to make a direct sale to make the jump? If it's a renewal of an Ukon, it doesn't move you up. That's what I meant by that.
Gotcha.
But it's still points,
That makes sense.
right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll introduce everybody. This is Jesse. Jesse came from the exact same way. He comes from Brian's team, and he comes from the same back. You were from the oil patch, right, Jesse?
Yeah, you betcha.
So Brian was the king of targeting the oil patch. He picked up a lot of his team from the oil patch, and Jesse is shining. He's now at 5A officially. How many months have you been doing this for now, Jesse? And you quit your job too, didn't you?
I quit my job within 2.5 months of starting with these guys, with Brian, and I've been in this almost 4.5 months.
And
So
he's at 5A.
Nice.
I targeted the oil patch right off the bat too, just exactly what Brian told me to do, and it just crushed it out for me first 3 months, and then it kind of started to die off. So then I kind of had to figure out other ways of getting in into other industries and stuff, but the oil patch was the big ticket for me.
Yeah, and that's because you heavily related to the oil patch because you came from the oil patch.
Exactly.
My guess is you started out with a story ad.
You betcha.
Yeah, and showing your, where you are now and where you were before in the oil patch, a picture of some sort. Yeah, it's all relative, right? So that's the type of thing. But now Jesse's got some new ways that he does a lot of communication. And what caught me was they're doing a lot of getting people right to the buy now button. They're not even putting them through the webinar.
Yeah, just in the last like 2-3 weeks, I kind of started avoiding the webinar. I found that if you can relate to them in a way that that they trust you and you can have a real conversation with them, then you can generally get them to buy now without even going to the webinar. I don't know, you just got to find that, you got to fine tune the conversation so that they're very interested in what you have to say. And I just, like in the last 3 weeks, I haven't sent anybody to the webinar.
And Jesse, are you talking to them on the phone, or is this all just over Facebook chat type?
Usually over Facebook messaging. Like if they're kind of persistent and they won't have a lot of questions, then I'll offer a phone call. But I typically find that I'm better through messaging rather than talking on the phone or doing a live thing. I find, for me personally, I'm better with messaging. I can word things better and kind of think about it more. Yeah. I'm not kind of on the spot kind of guy.
Okay. And so my question to you, so, I mean, we have the webinar. I mean, obviously the webinar is very important when it comes to answering the online focus of like where that piece is. So what are you doing typically to broaden their horizons, right? Because if they go from where you are to the coaching call, naturally they're going to be going through and they don't see anything really about the online presence, right? They're hearing about the successes in the story, they're hearing about the product and the commission structure and everything, but they're missing the piece of what we're talking about. Like when we're doing our advertising, we're talking about how we're building an online business, right? So how are you answering that key piece without the webinar?
So basically, when somebody messages me or comments on my post, I just I have this pre-typed up message. It just basically runs through. It starts off with, "Hey, how you doing?" I always add their name in there to make it more personal, and then it just starts right off by saying exactly what we do. Do you mind
doing a screen share right now with us and maybe walk us through a conversation that you had from the beginning and put it through, and then an example of what it is that you've got typed out there? Love to learn.
I'm not sure how to do that.
So I'll show you. So Jesse, if you take your cursor or your mouse and you move it over to the left of your screen, there's what they call there's a green box with a white arrow, and it says screen share. Click on it. And then another box is going to pop up, and you just click on entire screen.
Okay.
And that's going to share what's on your computer screen. And now you can go through like your Messenger and show us, typical stories and everything within it.
Okay. So can you see my screen right now?
Yeah, everybody can see your screen right now.
Okay. Let's try and find something here. I'm just trying to remember the last conversation I had that went.
Are these on your business page or your personal one?
Business page.
Perfect. Pop into your business page.
So Jesse, just while you're doing that, I want to just put one thing out there. So because we've got a lot of new people on here, before I would do any of this, I would always make sure that these people are on a list. Like, if these guys aren't registered in a system, we've got no way to track them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Jesse, you're making sure that they've registered on the web on your page first, right? Your landing page, right?
No. Like, you mean they've clicked on my link and gone through the steps?
Yeah, at least put their email address in so for tracking purposes, right?
Lots of them do, but I'm talking like initial message, like from the first time I talked to them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying before you put them through the buy now process, you're getting them to register in your funnel, right?
Not typically, no.
Well, I would suggest for you, and I'll just bring this out to the team right now, it's super important for us for tracking purposes that you guys get the person 100% to register in your landing page. Otherwise, it can create a really big nightmare for whose sale it was, right? Who is this, right? I'm not sure what the system Jesse and his mentors have, but my suggestion, even for you, Jesse, is to get them absolutely to go through your funnel.
Yeah, eventually I work them towards that. Initially, I kind of try and get them in, and then I work them towards getting there.
I just mean eventually, before you get them to the buy now button, I just mean you would probably want to get them registered in your sales funnel. I get that you're going to be talking to people and maybe not necessarily getting them registered in your funnel right away, but I'm just saying before the buy now, you definitely want to get them in there.
Yeah, for sure, eventually, yeah. So can you see this page that I'm on right now with this?
Yeah. Everything that's on here, whatever you can see, we can see.
Okay, this is a prime example of how I've been doing things lately. Yeah. So Buddy tells me he lives in Edmonton, working in the oil patch, has 4-year-old son, could be asking if I could be his mentor, and then I just say, yeah, for sure, I'd love to be your mentor. I'm going to send you a message that explains what we do. So then I say, this is exactly what we do. Basically network marketing, blah, blah, blah. We got a 90% done for you system. I haven't even read this in a long time, so I don't even remember what it all says.
Oh, money. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Tell me if I'm going too fast.
No. Maybe what you can do too as well, Jesse, is copy and paste it into the chat roll. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
It's just a good example, and then like lots of times I'll get people that aren't even interested and they won't even answer this message, but from what I've found in the last 4.5 months, this message gets right to the point, gives a lot of information, and then I always follow up. Like this guy, he didn't answer me right away, so then I said usually a couple hours later, I'll say something. So like, does this sound like something you'd be interested in trying out? Sure, man. Sure, willing to take the time, blah, blah, blah. So then this guy, and then I just relate to them and tell them that it costs $99 to join our group. We have mentors with 5-figure months, and then basically this particular guy hasn't signed up yet, but he says he's doing it today.
Okay.
So then I just kind of carry it out, like give them the buy now link.
Yeah, and what Brian was telling me, a big success is the quality of your buyers are high.
Yeah, like I got a team here that's just crushing it. A lot of them are doing really good right out the bat. Some of them are kind of struggling a little bit off the start, but we're doing what we can to help them out. And I'd say I'm pretty good at getting back to them fairly quick and helping them as best I can. Like.
So by the looks of what you're doing something a little bit different. So what you're doing is you're essentially you're basically, letting them know, hey, listen, this is network marketing. This is what it is that we do. We have a system that's, 90% done for you. We've got people that are making 5 figures a month, and basically you're wading through the shit to remove anybody that isn't interested in this type of thing, and then plugging them right into the $99 system that leads them into the product and the investment.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. That's I never even thought to do that. That might be something that maybe some of you guys maybe want to start doing, because from what Brian was saying, Jesse gets by the people that get onto the coaching call, they're like qualified buyers, almost all of them.
Yeah, like you do get the odd person that wants to know more about it, and I just kind of tell them like if they really dig, then I'm not the kind of person to beat around the bush. I'll tell them like it's a water ionizing system that we're selling, and that's about all I really tell them. I don't tell them the price usually, and by the time they get to the coaching call, then they already know all that stuff, and they're more likely to buy if they know kind of what the product is before they even pay the $99.
Perfect. That's really, really good. See, there's something new that I just learned today. So he's wading through stuff and getting quality buyers by doing it. So yeah, Jesse, if you could do me a favor, if you can copy and paste those into the chat roll, both your beginning one talking about the big long spiel about everything, and then your other one about getting right to the $99 and the 5-figure earners and stuff like that. There's people in here that could use that. And maybe Mike, do you mind putting a little document together, like a little that we could put in the file section of a new way of doing stuff to kind of get to the point?
Sure.
It's worth a test, right? This is what it's all about. Test, test, test. You know,
it's all about test.
Yeah. He's been able to find a way to get qualified buyers that are actually straight up buying. And it goes back to that whole thing. Remember how I told you it's not about the $2, it's not about this, it's the end result. The end result. The end result. The people that actually buy the system, right? And if you've got them seasoned, I kind of look at it like this. I worked in car sales. Yeah, God, that was the worst thing ever. But if you seasoned them to get into the business office with the extended warranty and stuff like that, right? By the time the guy got to the actual business manager, the business manager's like, I'll take that, right? It made it so easy because the expectation was already there. They already knew that they wanted it, right? And then I would get spiffed for it. But yeah, that's exactly what it'll do for that. So we'll put together another document in there as well too. We're doing up new Caitlin and Mike. And you got to thank these guys. Mike's super good with stuff, and so is Caitlin. They're putting together new training videos because we've been finding a few people have been jumping right into the funnel, which they don't have to do. Tracy, I don't know if she's on here tonight, but Tracy's a prime example. She spent like $600 on lead pages. I'm like, refund it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people get right into that. And another person that's really good with the $99 buyers is Jen and Gord. I'm guessing, is it Jen that does most of the conversations?
She does, yep. I'm only running her ad right now.
So yeah, so she's doing really well with the $99 buyers. She'll come in bunches, 2 and 3. Like today, she got 2 buyers in here today, which is really, really good as well. So maybe she can share. Is she there with you right now?
Yeah.
Falling asleep.
Sorry, I'm just a little jet lag, guys. I'm listening to everything. Yeah, you do get a lot in, and it's just, I think, like what Jesse was saying, you really just gotta keep up with your leads, like just following up with them and seeing where they're at, because a lot of people are interested. A lot of people just, are at that point where they're, trying to put the money together or want to like think about it a little bit. So following up with them and not just letting them disappear so that they know that, you're a real person and you're going to help them out. And that's what a lot of people are skeptical about too. It's just they're afraid that they're just going to be left alone and they don't know anything about computers or what they're going to do to build their own online business until, you kind of really build it up with them so that they're comfortable with you and they know that you're a real person that's out there going to help them and not just, string them along. So, yeah, we them in bunches, and it's weird. You'll be talking to people for like a few weeks and months, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready now," and you're like, "Whoa."
That's exactly it. I had a guy just the other day, actually 2 guys, talked to them like 2 months ago, and they're like, "Okay, so I think I'm ready to go." Right? This is like 2 months. Like even one of my good buddy, he was the vice president of Armani, and now he's the vice president of Purdy's Chocolate. What a difference, between Armani's and Purdy's Chocolates. The reason actually he left from Armani's to Purdy's Chocolates. It actually had nothing to do with like finances or anything like to do with that because they were both the same pay. But because Purdy's office was in Vancouver and it required him to less travel all around the places. So
yeah.
But even him, I mean, the guy makes really good money. Like in the world of where you guys are at, he's well in the 6 figures. And the problem it comes down to, guys, is just the time freedom. And he's known I've been doing this for a couple months, and he's like, you know what, Jeff, I'm just so tired of this. He's like, I know you've made money online. Let's do this, right? and he's going to be a great resource for all of us. And especially you, Mike and him are going to get along really well because he's really good at like, well, I mean, obviously in the business corporate world, like being organized and systems and stuff like that, right? So he's going to be a rock star there with it. So Edward, good question. So on the $99 commission, I'm just going to add something else too, guys. Part of this business model is not only like getting you guys so you guys don't have to do a lot of the work and stuff like that, but the eventuality of this, the eventuality of it is guys, I'm not going to be able to do all the $99 calls. Neither is Mike. So Mike subs in right now and helps out with it because now he's at a point where he understands it. He goes through the process. He knows how to. We have a little system in place. He can do it. So he's getting to the point. Other than the fact they're going away to England for a month, where when he gets back, he's going to be able to like pretty much do all of his own coaching calls and all that stuff. So yes, guys, this will eventually be a possibility for you to have a revenue stream. Yes, as a team leader, if you think that you can take on that and deal with it, and we're comfortable that you're going to be able to do that, then absolutely it will be something. And Edward, another question, is the goal to recruit new people or sell product? Well, there's two parts to that answer. Anytime that they buy the product, so whether they buy the product or whether they want the business aspect of this, they're both the same price. That's the great thing about it. It comes with a distribution ID regardless. So even if, and there's people that buy it, they just wanted the water machine. They're like, I really love the water machine. I'm going to buy the water machine. So they'll do it. So, but if they decided 3 years down the road they wanted to sell water machines, part of it, they can take that distribution ID because it all comes with it, and they're good to go. Mm-hmm. So, in essence, yes, our model is we want people to be working with us to sell water machines or sell the business opportunity because that's where we make money. But if you sell a product to somebody, you're still going to make the same commission. We're just looking at duplication. That's it, right? Duplication is everything. And scalability. So duplicate and scale. So we have a system that's duplicatable, and we have a system that can be scaled on a very large basis because we're doing it on the internet. Mm-hmm. And that's generally the problem with most businesses. Once you get to a point, you hit a ceiling, right? And you can't scale it. Well, this will scale it. Hopefully that answers your questions there, Edward. Anything else to add on any new tricks or new things that you guys are testing out? Jen, Gord, Mike, Darren?
Yeah, what I want everybody to do is to set up their backup ad accounts. So basically you have to have Business Manager to do that. So you'd go into Facebook and set up Business Manager, and then you type in business.facebook.com. That's how you set up Business Manager. And then you create 2 new ad accounts. And
are you able to show us on maybe on a screen share there, Darren, on what you're talking about?
You can't because we're on different computers.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
So maybe what we'll do, maybe that's something that we're going to look at for next week's training.
Yeah, I think it's a great
it's one of the videos that Caitlin's putting together.
Okay. But we'll also touch base on it on a training thing, so we can walk it through step by step as well.
Yeah. But for people that want to, it's not too hard to figure out. If you just type in business.facebook.com, you'll see where it asks you if you want to create new ad accounts. You create 2 ad accounts. The important thing is they have to all have different payment methods. But I was also able to just bypass that step on one of mine and just leave it blank. So you could also just leave one of them blank if you don't have 3 credit cards. And the other really important thing about it is that you want to run ads from one of the new ad accounts that you create. You don't want to run ads from your main ad account, which is attached to your page, because if that account gets blocked, then that page also gets blocked. And then you have to end up transferring it over to one of the other ad accounts, and it's just like an extra step down the road, and it could be a hassle. And we're actually going through that right now with somebody, and we're having trouble it's not even working. So it's better to run the ad, set up those accounts, and then move all your ads over to one of the new accounts that's not attached directly to the page, because the page is always going to be attached to your main ad account.
Gotcha. Sounds a little bit confusing even for myself, but we can talk about that offline, Mitch, so I can get my head wrapped around it.
So that stops you from getting your Facebook page shut down when you get flagged.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. So then you can get, if that ad account gets blocked, then your page is still fine, and then you can start running from that other new ad account. And then if that one gets blocked, it's sort of like you have 3 strikes and then you're out. You know what I mean?
That's
a good idea.
It saves you from having 3 separate Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, 'cause it's a
Exactly.
nightmare to set it up, right?
Yeah.
Or God forbid you have to do an entire new profile and page.
Yeah, which we had to do. We've learned this the hard way, and that's why it's so important now. I want everybody to just start like this, and then you don't have to worry about having that. It's still good to have a backup profile.
That's really
But
good.
you may not need it for like a year or 2 years. Who knows, right? You may not by the time you.
That makes sense.
You have
Yeah.
3 chances before you'll actually ever have to need it. That could be 4
That's
days,
it.
right? That could be a long time. Like we have a backup one and we've never had to use it yet. So this way here really
Knock on wood.
extends the life.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, it's good.
I've got another cool little tip for you guys too, and probably nobody saw it in the post I put up, but in the Facebook stream for the Infinite Freedom Group, I shared an article from Entrepreneur Magazine, and it was the 10 best tech tips that you can use for free as an entrepreneur. And if you click on that, you'll see that when I shared it, it's actually got a little box that hovers over it. It has my name, and it says online business mentor or guru or something. It says, do you want to fire your boss? Click here.
Yeah.
And all of us are sharing articles right now. But why wouldn't we want to monetize those for free? Here's a way that you can actually create an ad for nothing. And every single article you share on your page, and we're all trying to get a following on our page, here's a way so that if any of your followers who haven't gone through the funnel yet click on any article you share, all they do is they click on that button and they're in the funnel.
Oh, wow.
That's a good idea.
So Sniply.com. Go to that thing that I shared in the Infinite Freedom Group, guys. It's worth checking out. It got me all giggling because it's awesome.
You're also that tech guy. He loves
I'm a
tech.
geek, I admit it, but I love that because
That's
free
cool.
advertising, I'm all over that.
That's sweet.
That's awesome. Anything else you can add there, Jesse?
Biggest other thing I would add is just always follow up. Like I got a list of people. I write everything down. Whenever you get somebody that shows any kind of half-ass interest, write their name down, write what they said last down, follow up with them in a month. Just say, hey, how's it going? This is what I've been up to in the last month. Just wondering if you'd be interested in checking us out. And then usually they'll come back and say, oh, that's interesting, or they won't answer you at all. But just follow up. Like that's probably the biggest thing. I've followed up with people for 3 months now, since like May and April, and they're still on the fence, but they're gonna get there eventually. You just need to keep working on it.
Follow-up's a key. I actually bought a little day timer that I'll just write some stuff in quickly.
Yeah.
Then I'll go back and reference it and then cross them off if it's an absolute no or whatever.
Yeah.
And
How do I share screen?
you just go up to the top left-hand corner, and then there's a little screen share green button with a white arrow.
Oh, can I share the pipe drive thing that we use real quick for this?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
This is a tool, by the way, that Mike uses to keep track of everything that he does.
Yeah, I mean, literally, Pipedrive runs our life right now. It's amazing. So can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what it looks like. It's just pipedrive.com or something. If you guys want that, I can send. If I refer you, you get a free trial on it. But so you can create your own columns here. And so I created these column names. So if I'm messaging with somebody, they go into here. And if they've registered for the webinar, they go into here. If they bought the coaching call, they go into here. If they've done our coaching call and they're sorting out their finances, they go into here. And if they've completed if they're in the process of completing their app, they go here. And once they've put in the app, but we haven't got our commission yet on them, they go into the here.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this because you can simply drag and drop people from column to column.
That's sweet. That's a great tool.
And look at what happens when I click inside of here. So if I click inside somebody, I can create all of these kinds of things in here. I can actually say, for example, like this is because we're doing I do coaching calls with other people now. I need to track who they belong to, but I can add in who their mentor is, how much my commissions are. Like here, if I, for example, click on Louis, you can see we've collected a check from his Ukon here, and here's the check number. And I can actually email from within here. And so look at this. See, here's all of the correspondence and everything I have with this guy. I can create notes in here. If I want, I can create a task in here, and I get a reminder in my calendar, and it actually syncs with my calendar, so I can set up my coaching calls in here. If I want to follow up with somebody that I've been Facebook messaging, like if somebody says I don't have money right now, maybe in a month, I'll actually set a reminder so that I come back to them in 30 days.
And we'll put that in the notes.
Yeah.
We know they said, what they said last, so that we're prepared when we do follow up with them. Like,
That's
okay.
cool.
Yeah, and then look at this. This is why I get excited about this. So I can see the apps that are in that I haven't been paid yet. Here's up here you can see how much it equals to, because I've got the actual transaction amounts in here. And then look at, this is my funnel, guys. We always talk about funnels. I've got a completing app funnel right now that's worth over $7,000, and another funnel that's the stage before that worth $4,000, right? So if you want to start getting excited about numbers, this is how you start tracking this kind of thing.
Yeah, 'cause then you actually start seeing all that. That's a really good tool.
Yeah.
That reminds me too, Mike. We were going to talk about getting some type of integration of the same type of layout in the new system as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea to add in.
How do I shut this screen? Oh, I see it. There you go. So, but I honestly, I can't imagine not using Pipedrive, and it's cheap. It's like $15, maybe $10 a month.
That's pretty darn cheap to keep yourself organized. Oh yeah, by the way, Haro Martinez, he's get back to him in a month guy. I just seen him on your list.
Oh.
I had a coaching call with him today. I told him to go get a lawnmower and a weed whacker and start making money.
Uh-oh. No, we got a few of those in our funnel. But I mean, you talk about following up with people and keeping the conversation going. You've got to have some way of tracking your conversations with these people, because like one of the trifectas we're in the process of closing, I've been literally talking to this woman for at least 2 months, maybe 3 months.
Is that Bernadette?
Yes. And in the span of that time, she has gone from not owning a computer to owning a computer to having computer lessons.
Yeah, Facebook lessons.
She's had a vacation. I've had a vacation. Like, a lot has happened in that time.
By the way, guys, she's 60.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sweet. Good for her.
So
Yeah.
I bet you right now, I can guarantee you right now, we're gonna have the oldest trifecta sale in all of everybody. Guaranteed.
But you know what? She's got an amazing can-do attitude, and I tell you, if there's a woman that's going to make a go of it, it's going to be Bernie.
Yeah, she just literally doesn't stop. I remember she was messaging me rapidly at the beginning. She's like, I want Jeff to be my mentor. I'm like, sorry, no, Mike's your mentor. He's way better.
She wants it so bad that she has actually gone out and found her own computer lessons. Like, man, that's awesome.
What are you targeting to find her, a 60-year-old?
Oh, man, I don't even remember how we found her. I mean, this man does so many experiments.
That's all I do.
That's good.
Guys, experiment. So, Sheila, where do we find that page? What page are you talking about? Sorry, I don't know which one you mean.
So maybe Shaylee means the Pipedrive.
Well, okay. Maybe. Just clarify what you mean by that, Sheila. Lastly, I wasn't on really last week because of the training. What did we end up talking about for the winning for the contest this week?
We were going to do videos again.
Videos? And what was the video
It's under your
competition based on?
What- Same thing as last week.
Yeah, same thing that we decided to do again this week.
Oh, so Pipedrive, yeah, you're just going to...
Yeah, I'll put the link in here for everybody.
Perfect.
This will get everyone.
People's lives do change 30, 60, or 90 days follow-up. That's really, really good. And I like this resource Pipedrive. That's a good thing. For $10 to keep yourself that organized on your follow-up.
Yeah.
I would even suggest even for yourself there, Jesse. That'd be a good tool for $10 a month to keep yourself organized and all. And you can email them within as well.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty cool tool. I'm a little old school myself. I like pen and paper, but I'm slowly working towards doing things on the computer more.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, people's lives do change. It's funny, actually. I'll just introduce. I'm pretty sure. Let me take a look here. Yeah. So this is Edward. Edward, we've been talking back and forth. I invited him out here to prove to him that this is real, guys, and that people are making a living off this. and come from everyday walks of life. So right before I hopped on this, actually, you know what I'm going to do?
Did you send it?
I'm going to invite Edward on the screen here. He's going to see how real live this is. There you go, Edward. Answer the call. You're going to hop up on here, and you can ask as many questions as you want to the panel here to see how real live it is. So, Edward, I was on the call up until, like, chatting with him on Facebook 5 minutes prior to hopping on this, and I said, hey, come on out. So, he's actually sold speakers out the back of a van before. He's done that shit before.
If you can do that, you can do this for sure.
That's exactly it. So come on, Edward. Bring it on. I invited you as a speaker. You can hop right on here, buddy. Then we can see your face, and you can shoot the shit with us. So who did we decide that won the video for this week?
We never decided. We never chatted about it. I asked in the chat, and nobody seemed to respond.
Uh-oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't really ask. I just asked what videos were there.
Well, I believe there was 3.
Them are the only 3 I've seen. Yep.
And I'd have to say the most. So out of those 3, which one did you like the most?
I like Eugene's.
So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Eugene kind of stepped it up there. It was surprising though. I mean, there was $300 on the line right here. I mean, this is ad spend money, guys. $300 US. Guys, put some videos out there. We got to come up with something more creative, I think, for this week.
I don't know how you light a fire under people's asses.
Pardon?
I don't know how you light a fire under people's ass to get going to do this.
I know.
I'd like to be able to put a video in to win $300 for ad money.
This, guys, and this is the key. Like, this is a rocket science. It's the videos. The videos are what get you all the content and the traffic, right? So the more you practice at it, the better you become. I used to have to drink wine. Edward's not hopping in.
Drinking whiskey right now.
Get on my phone. I broke my laptop. That's fine, Edward. You can hop in on your phone. I invited you. You have Google Hangout on your phone.
Jesse, is that a mason jar on a stem?
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Here. This is the key of the laptop lifestyle, guys. No, hey, that's the water.
But I want the stem.
I mean, it's Kangen water with whiskey mixed in.
Right. Congratulations, Jesse.
Whatever works, right?
The
Works. So, Edward, I guess if you can't hop on or whatever, ask another question. You know, ask people's experience and how they feel about working with this community and how real it is. I can tell you right now, everybody here, starting, with myself, with Mike, Darren, Gord, and Jen. Gord is a mechanic. Jen works in the restaurant. Jesse's from the oil patch. Mike's a business coach, ex-corporate guy. Myself, I'm a bankrupt loser that used to roam the streets and sell cars and do other crazy shit that doesn't have an education at all. So, I mean, if you can breathe, we can make you famous in this system. I can tell you that this much. Bernadette, she's 60. 60, get that one. 60-year-old woman.
Rocket.
What he just said, coming from Ed, LOL. All right, so I guess, is Eugene just going to win the whole $300? I guess so, because we didn't really have too much beyond that.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
If it was my money giving it away, that's what I'd give it to.
So I noticed he plugged in there that he had to jet out early. Maybe he had to go to work. He works in the coal mines, I believe. So he just started with us just recently. So I will congratulate him. $300. We got to come up with something a little bit more creative for this next week, and I think maybe we should brainstorm before we just pipe out what it is.
That's a good idea.
Because we got to. I mean, before we got a lot of engagement and stuff like that. And I just don't want people to like, oh, same thing again. So let's figure out something, and we'll post it up in the Facebook group on what it is. But other than that, before we go, I'm going to ask one last thing to everybody here tonight. Any questions? Now's the time to ask them. God knows I get enough of them. You can ask any single one of us on the panel. Not in Skype. I just heard Skype go off. That wasn't my Skype, actually. I've been involved with network marketing for 6 years. This is the most real crew I've seen. Looking forward to killing it with you guys. Awesome. Love it, Kevin. I'm ready to make another killer video. Awesome. Love that, guys. That's exactly what this is all about. I'm going to go out on Tuesday, and I'm taking the whole fam dam, including my brand newborn, and we're going to go shoot a rockin' video. So I'm going to do it all based on family. Doing that now. I'm going a little bit out. I'm doing a professional video shoot to see how it goes and see what they can do. These are the same guys that are doing our mansion one. So I'm going to see what they can do with this to make it look real. And if it's really, really good, then maybe you guys can dub it in. And that's going to be another stipulation, guys, for videos and stuff like that. If you're using of mine, or if Mike and Darren make one, or Jen and Gord, and you want to use it as your mentor, there's going to be a massive stipulation that you need to dub in something at the beginning and at the end. And I'll tell you why. Because if you start using everybody else's videos, they'll eventually get banned. Facebook doesn't like unoriginal content being masked around and marketed as your own. They want original content. So you need to dub something at the beginning and at the back, and that's going to go for the mansion one. Everybody who's doing there. I mean, and if you don't know how to do it yourself, Fiverr, there's somebody there that'll do it for $4.
Yeah.
Dub it in.
While we're talking about videos, please stop using Jang's video.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's getting banned everywhere.
Poor Debbie has got her account blocked because she she put the ad through and she didn't mean to, and she had it sitting in her ad manager, and it was that damn video from Jang. It's been used 1,000,000 times. It was great in its day, I'm sure, but it's just so been used. It's
done.
It's going to get flagged within a second.
Yeah.
And especially the, getting caught, the shocking confession, quitting job, any of that stuff on there, done, right?
Look at my page if you guys want different ideas for text above the ads and stuff, or Jen and Gord's page,
Nice, Jeremy, you're going to post a new video. Anyone got an extra laptop? Ed Buddy. I'm sure you can go, even if you have a tablet. People use tablets as well. So I was just going to ask that, Jeff. I don't know what it was going to, seen it a lot. Oh, you're talking about the videos?
Yeah, probably is.
Yeah, you must be.
There's still a lot of people using it. And I think it's just beginner's luck. People with a new account that have never had any traffic, they get away with it for a while, but eventually it's going to get shut down.
Errands, yeah, there you go. Errands, $39 a month. Yes, what shocked them next? Any of that stuff, do not use it. Stay far, far away from that. Facebook has picked up on that. They don't like it. And the reason that they picked up and they don't like it because people don't know how to properly promote without, you can't make financial claims. You can't be like, my next video is actually going to be pretty cool because I'm going to lay it right out. What they don't want is to leave people guessing on what they're going to watch.
Yeah.
That's it. That's really what it is, guys. So if you're talking about this great, wonderful lifestyle, but you don't talk about the fact that you're building an online business and, there's this workshop that talks about how to build an online business, it seems weird, right? What are you hiding, right? So they want you to talk about how to build an online business. They want you to exactly what it is that you're driving them to. They want that to match, and they want your landing page to talk about that, right? So if you have all that with congruency, right? And guys, I mean, I'm doing the same thing. I do my videos and I talk about the free online workshop, and I've yet to have any problems with my ad spends, knock on wood, or any of the stuff with my ad accounts, right? So yes, clickbait. That's another thing. Yeah, leaving something to question is what they don't like, clickbait. So. And the mansion, it's crazy. I hit up Jason Krisky. He might actually come and do some masterminding for the crew at the Facebook mansion there.
Wow, that'll be great.
Oh yeah, he actually gets on the phone with Facebook compliance. They're the #1 video advertiser in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, officially, crazy. So
$2 million in one weekend. Right?
What's that?
Didn't he make $2 million in one weekend or something?
$2.5 million in November on that probiotic for the month.
Yeah.
Profit. And now they average $1 million a week spend. And so Facebook Canada has a budget to hit monthly, weekly, quarterly, and pretty much they work tightly with them to make sure that they're running volume. because if those guys pretty much don't hit their number, then Facebook doesn't hit their target.
Right.
That's how much. I mean, think about it. It's $52 million a year. It's a lot of money, man, spent. So he might be coming to the mastermind as well here in Kelowna. So having said that, guys, it's 5 after 8. We're going to think about the contest. Congratulations to Eugene. I'll send him his $300. And other than that, I'm looking forward to what's the deal with the French fries and gravy? Who's eating French fries and gravy?
That sounds like a good idea.
It sounds like a good idea. Edward, I think you're smoking marijuana and you're just imagining that it's French fries and gravy. You have no idea what you're talking about, buddy. Is anyone else eating here? Anyways, guys, have a great night, and we'll see you next Sunday, and we'll post the next contest up there. And let's get rocking with these ads and shoot videos. Go get a selfie stick for $29 and go shoot a friggin' video and talk about an online business in your life and get good at it. If you want to be a 5-figure earner in the next 90 days, it's that simple. Not kidding you. Simple. That's it. Done. All right, guys. Peace out. I'm going to go eat. I'm hungry.
Bye.
Ciao.